This is TempleOS 5-Minute Random Code Walkthrough, episode 103, and I'm your host, Terry Davis. Where did God take us today? We are in lDtRyxSZjOA. lDtRyxSZjOA. Okay. So this plain this file is where it converts between plain text and lDtRyxSZjOA text, and it looks like at the bottom is another routine. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. So mostly this is for Control T when you go to Control T and you change to plain text, but this routine is added into this file. Okay, so what we have is a document and a string going in, and what it does is it scans for dollar signs. I think it has to be there's two variations. There's a partial. If you print a string with lDtRyxSZjOA commands, if you only have one dollar sign in there, you're going to have problems in many situations. There's this routine that we're looking at does not handle partial entries. So what it does is all the lDtRyxSZjOA commands are bracketed with dollar signs, and what we do, we set up the we have character bitmaps, which are basically a set of characters. Based on what mode we're in, whether we're in plain text with tab, or the regular mode, we have a different bitmap. Now it scans for valid characters, and I guess there's more than one it can stop on. Oh, I know what. I think it stops on a carriage return, or if it hits a dollar sign, or end of file, or this is end of string. If it gets to the end of the string, then the current entry it's working on, it creates a. Okay, so the lDtRyxSZjOA are linked lists of, or it's a circular doubly linked list of if you're not familiar with lDtRyxSZjOA, there's text entries, carriage return entries. It's a circular doubly linked list of these various entries. Not that many, but 40. Anyway, so when it hits, this is when you do a put s. It searches if it hits the end, then it generates a text entry. The text entries are is one line of text, or less than a line, a half a line, based on if you change colors, then that's half a line, or if you do, we can have links. You knew we can have links, right? Anyway, so now if it's not the end. So basically it scans for valid characters, then when it hits an invalid one, if it's the end, it makes a new entry. If it's not the end, it it checks. Pointer 2 is the character at the start of the scan, and pointer is at the end of the scan. So J is the number of characters that were processed during this chunk. We make a text entry for that, and for those characters, those all go in one text entry. There's no dollar signs. Dollar sign is not allowed. Let's see. We can have a ASCII 5 is a cursor. Oh, if the current location of the cursor is in this entry, then we break it in half. So a cursor is a separate entry. So if this line has a cursor in it, then it gets broken in half. Anyway, and for some special characters, there's the cursor, form feed, tab, dollar sign. Let's talk about dollar sign. That's the special one. So some of the characters, tab is tab causes a tab entry. Form feed causes a page break entry. Let's look at dollar sign. If you get two dollar signs, then that's how you signal a dollar sign character. And looks like we scan until we hit the second dollar sign. It's not allowed to have anyway. So if we got to the if it's not the end, I think we get an error if we get to the end. I think we generate an error. No, it doesn't look like we do an error. Oh, I don't know. So somewhere in here it should handle $2 signs. In other words, oh well. So when it processes this entry, it sets the second dollar sign to a 0, and then it does an insert. Okay. If pointer 1 equals pointer 2, we put in our ordinary dollar sign in the text entry. If it's $2 signs with text in between, then we call the routine document insert. Oh no, I'm wrong. That's a cursor. That's a cursor. The cursor. Here's where it parse dollar sign command. That's what I'm talking about. The reason this routine is in the plain text is because there's a plain text to convert from text, and there's a routine to convert from text, and there's a routine to convert to text. So for example, like we're looking at this Lex. If we go Control T, that's encoded as a link with a no underline. Lex is the tag, and the auxiliary string is man page Lex, and you see the $2 signs. So parse dollar sign command, we pass it a string with remember it converted the dollar sign to a 0 at the end. So we parse the string. It has to parse all the flags. Do you remember when I just showed you this? So it has to parse the 2-character code. It has to parse flags. It has to parse the tag, and it has to parse arguments. And it has to convert those to the internal format for the document entries. So here it's switching on the document type. So for example, the link. Oh, these are ones with special attributes. Anyway, well, we talked about the doc put s.